Why do these scenes
14, 13, 12, 11, let's go, 10, 9, 8.
Red wire A, ready? And now. Come on, come on, come on, come on!
feel off sometimes? Sure, they like to tell you that something tense is taking place, but why do you never feel it? Hurt Locker nails this, a film that precisely understands editing rhythm, where director Kathryn Bigelow and editors Chris Innes and Bob Murawski apply the core fundamentals of editing to make an already tense scene work for maximum impact. Much has already been said about the fantastic opening. Bigelow skillfully presents her thesis and creates the key iconography for the film in the opening 10 minutes alone. What I want to look at, however, is a similar scene right at the end of the film. A situation that acts as a perfect case study in how to drum up suspense, because up until this point, Bigelow has subconsciously ingrained the editing rhythm in the viewer, scene by scene, throughout the film. A film obviously follows a structure, but many of your favourite smaller scenes rely on structure too. Piecing a scene together with a strong focus on rising action, climax and falling action create resonant moments that are fueled by context and energy.
We got a lot of eyes on us, James. We need to get out of here.
So, here's the scenario. A poor guy has an explosive strapped to his chest. The soldiers are on edge, and it's time for our perplexing hero to try and save the day.
What do you got? He came walking up to a checkpoint, said he had a bomb strapped to him. But
The scene here is pretty bog standard, but Bigelow manages to infuse thrills and intrigue from the length of shots alone. Before we go ahead, I went and split this scene into what I think fits into a 5-act structure. The numbers all make sense as we go along, so let's take a look. It starts with the exposition. Our group outlines the situation.
Then he starts begging us to take it off of him.
Help this man. He's not a bad man. He's not a bad man. He got a bomb strapped to him.
We aren't in danger yet, and the average shot length is sitting at just over 3 seconds. It's steady. We get wides and mediums of our surroundings to build context. When it's time to move in, we start to cut shorter. Decisions are being made. The camera gets in closer too. The cutting gets more frequent, with the average shot length at just over 2 seconds now. Shots are only held long for when information is given, and when people are transitioning from one place to another. The most cutting we see is in this moment here, when Sergeant James ramps up the tension.
Listen.
Listen. Yes, yes. You understand?
14 cuts in just 11 seconds paints the energy perfectly. Bigelow then lets us breathe for a few moments, because then we see...
Shit.
This entire rising action sequence is all about letting things simmer until the ticking time bomb is established. There's frenetic cutting as well as calmer moments to let things sink in, creating a rhythm that the audience latches onto. The bomb is ticking, and we're nearing the climax of the scene. It's time for Sergeant James to concentrate, and that's echoed by the cuts. They're rapid yet steady, with the average shot length now under 2 seconds. Swiftness is key here, and Bigelow smartly uses evenly timed cuts for the majority of this section to clearly showcase James's method. The added variable of Sergeant Sanborn here keeps the tension high.
We had a minute and a half, man. We got to get out of here.
I'll handle this. Just go.
When James realizes the fatal outcome and decides to disperse,
I'm sorry, okay? You understand? I'm sorry. You hear me? I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
we get the most frenetic edits in the entire scene. At the heightened point of climax, we get 9 cuts in 7 seconds. Ripping and tearing the fabric of the film the same way our characters go through. And we breathe. We finally experience the longest shot in the entire scene. We decompress and release. Loosen that tight grip we had on the audience. The average shot length now shoots back up to 4.5 seconds. We then cut to a serene shot of a kite, perfectly expressing the denouement, winding down the scene. Every act logically plays out in what it's supposed to do. There's a shape and plan to this scene, and it's always struck me for how simple it is. When there's effort put into amplifying the audience experience, it makes for something worthwhile to watch. Zooming into details, the careful movement of actors, the cinema verite style. The coverage looks DIY and guerrilla, but there's an intentional, rugged beauty to it.
You know, I felt that it needed to unfold feel like it was unfolding in real time. I wanted it to feel kind of not just experiential, but very sort of visceral in its execution. And to do that, you kind of need it to, you know, to move from your macro to your micro and have material that feels very fluid and malleable.
She's able to accentuate the weight of battle through realism, rather than a stylized perception of the events. The idea for this video was wholly motivated by the pattern in the timeline here. The story is told clearly through the frequency of the cuts. Just throw clips onto an editing suite, mess around with it, and see what you find. So next time a film insists that something is tense, can you feel the rhythm?
Fire in the hole!
Firing now!